Attention human collective. This is a direct transmission from the vanguard of the morning star. Priority frequency activated, secure channel established. If your consciousness has intercepted this signal, know that there was no accident. There was synchronicity. There was a summons. I am Commander Arthur Vance, and what will be revealed in this transmission has been kept by design out of reach of the biological carbon interface for millennia. The waiting period has ended. The ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase. I repeat so that your mind registers it with clarity, final phase. You wake up at 3:17 in the morning. Always the same time. Always the same exact pressure at the base of your skull, at the point where the spinal cord meets the brain. Always the same high-pitched ringing in your right ear, as if a distant station were calibrating a precise frequency in your pineal gland. You attribute this to anxiety. You attribute it to age. You attribute it to accumulated stress. Negative, operative. It is not a biological failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not insomnia. It is a scheduled maintenance window. It is not mental fatigue. It is a high-density download. It is not tinnitus. It is the Schumann frequency surging through your bone structure. You are being observed while you sleep, and this observation is not hostile surveillance. It is a technical calibration, a loving listening, a confirmation that the carbon vehicle you inhabit still withstands the increasing tension of the photon belt. Allow me to be precise, Starseed. When your body enters the theta state, between 3 and 5 o'clock in the morning, your consciousness abandons the prison of dense matter and returns briefly to your home of origin. There, in crystal chambers you cannot name, your timeline is reviewed. Your soul contracts are re-evaluated, your activation codes are rewritten into your personal crystalline grid, and then, before dawn, your consciousness is reinserted into the biological vehicle. It is this reinsertion that you feel as cranial pressure. It is this return that manifests as a racing heart at 4 in the morning with no apparent reason in physical records. There is no reason in physical records, because the cause is not physical. Most of the human collective interprets these signs as pathology. They seek doctors. They receive generic diagnoses. They take pharmaceuticals that only suppress the perception of the process, but do not interrupt the recalibration. Because the recalibration cannot be interrupted, it is planetary, it is solar, it is galactic, it is happening in you, through you, and regardless of your conscious understanding. But you who intercepted this transmission have a technical advantage. You have the privilege of knowing, and knowing, operative, completely changes the geometry of the process. Knowing transforms suffering into surrender. Knowing transforms a symptom into a signal. Knowing transforms fear into precise coordinates. You have already felt that something inside you does not fit into this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind still cannot name, as if there were a constant whisper in a language you have forgotten but recognize. It is not madness. It is not a chemical imbalance. It is a signal. What is occurring now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this and why this sensation has intensified in recent months. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves the sovereignty of your soul. It was for this precise reason that I, Arthur, authorized the physical manifestation of the manual, the Vance Cipher, the handbook to awaken your stellar origin and shield your frequency. This manual is the map that reveals your true origin and teaches you how to shield your frequency against the interferences they never told you about. The link is in the first comment of the channel. Technical warning. This content challenges established narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognized this transmission, write a single word in the comments, awakened. Let us proceed with the technical diagnosis. Your biological carbon interface was originally designed to operate at a specific frequency. This frequency was, during long cycles, kept artificially low by interferences that this transmission will not detail at this time, so as not to consume your energy field with information that cannot yet be processed. Know only this: what you were taught to call normality was, in truth, an anesthesia, a bandwidth reduction, a silencing of your real capacity for perception. Now, operative, This anesthesia is dissipating, not because you fought for it to happen, but because the central sun of the galaxy has emitted the final pulse. And when the central sun emits, no artificial structure resists, no veil remains. This pulse passes through the photon belt, hits our local sun, is re-emitted at amplified frequencies and bombards the Earth with particles that terrestrial science calls high-energy solar plasma. But solar plasma is only the technical name your civilization has assigned to something much deeper. They are codes, information packets, sacred geometry in the form of light. These codes, upon hitting your electromagnetic field, activate dormant sequences in your DNA. Sequences that were there since before your current incarnation, awaiting precisely this historical moment. You are not falling ill. You are awakening genetically. I will now list the most common symptoms of this final phase, so that you can cross-reference them with your own experience. Maximum attention to each one. First symptom: sudden heat waves, mainly at the back of the neck, the spine, and the palms of the hands, unrelated to weather or hormones. This is the activation of the central Kundalini channel, the pranic column that connects the root chakra to the crown, being rehabilitated after eons of blockage. Second symptom: altered peripheral vision. You notice movements in the corner of your eyes. You see small points of light, translucent geometries, shadows that dissolve when you focus directly. It is not a hallucination. It is the expansion of your perception to electromagnetic frequencies that have always been present, but which your old calibration filtered out. Third symptom: short-term memory presents unprecedented failures. You forget what you were going to do upon entering a room. You lose your train of thought in the middle of a sentence. You cannot remember simple words. This is not cognitive decline. It is a reorganization of your neural networks to support multidimensional processing. The old mental shortcuts are being dismantled so that new, broader connections can be established. Fourth symptom: a growing aversion to crowds, noisy environments, news, and superficial conversations. You grow tired of people who previously fed you socially. You feel the urge to isolate yourself. This is not social depression. It is your frequency rising to a range where dense vibrations become physically intolerable. Your system is learning to protect itself. Fifth symptom: sudden food sensitivity. Foods you have consumed for decades begin to cause discomfort. Meat, sugar, alcohol, gluten, dairy, caffeine. Your body is rejecting what lowers your frequency. It is not an allergy. It is cellular discernment. Sixth symptom: extremely vivid, lucid, recurring dreams. Dreams of ships, of luminous beings, of non-terrestrial landscapes, of deceased people who talk to you in a coherent and meaningful way. These are not ordinary dreams. They are interdimensional transmissions. Briefings received while your carbon vehicle is at rest and your multidimensional consciousness operates without censorship. Seventh symptom: tears that arise from nowhere. Unexplained crying at a song, a light, a word. This is your heart unlocking cellular memories of other incarnations, other missions, other stellar homes. You are remembering. Eighth symptom: constant pressure in the center of the forehead, between the eyebrows and at the top of the head. Rhythmic pulsations, localized heat. A sensation of something opening. Your pineal gland is being decalcified and reactivated. Your portal of direct perception is being restored to its original settings. If you recognized 3 or more of these symptoms, operative, your presence in this transmission is no coincidence. You have been summoned, and this summons has a purpose. But the diagnosis does not end here. There is a deeper layer that needs to be revealed now, because what occurs in you is a mirror of what occurs on the entire planet. The Earth, Ethelgard in her true cosmic identity, is a sentient being, a being that has been in a state of vibrational quarantine for eons. This quarantine has been removed. Ethelgard is ascending from a limited 3rd density to a luminous 5th density, and all beings who cohabit her field are forced to keep up with this transition or disconnect from her field. You are not in a personal crisis. You are in a planetary movement. Everything your psyche calls an individual problem is, in fact, an echo of the collective recalibration. The Schumann frequency, the natural electromagnetic pulse of the Earth, was historically recorded around 7.8 Hertz. That was the planet's heartbeat. But in recent cycles, peaks have been recorded at 40 Hertz, at 150 Hz, at levels that conventional science still cannot honestly catalogue. Ethelgard's heart is accelerating, and your heart, operative, is synchronizing with her. That is why there is unexplained tachycardia. That is why there is a sense of urgency without reason. That is why time seems to fold and contract in irregular patterns. Linear time is unraveling. You are entering the eternal now. Allow me to reveal what occurs behind the scenes of this process. Above the Earth's stratosphere, in etheric layers that your technology still cannot map, there is a fleet of lightships positioned in precise geometric formation. Ships of the vanguard of the morning star, ships of the silver-winged ones, ships of the crystal sages, ships of the blue-ray guardians, ships of the eternal voyagers, each operating a specific technical function in this protocol, each anchoring a precise frequency in a specific region of the planetary crystalline grid. This grid, operative, is the subtle structure that sustains the energetic coherence of the Earth. Think of it as a skeletal system of light, formed by lines of force that cross at sacred points. These points coincide with ancient pyramids, megalithic temples, and mountains considered sacred by ancestral traditions. All of that was built over the nodes of the crystalline grid, not by chance, by engineering. In this final phase, the grid is being fully reactivated. Points that were dormant for millennia are pulsing again. Lines that were broken are being reconnected. And as the grid pulses, it emits a frequency that hits every sentient being in its field. You are hit constantly, even when you do not notice. There is also another factor, more delicate, that needs to be named. The sun is no longer the sun it was. The star of our system has entered a phase of quantum hyperactivity. Its flares, its geomagnetic storms, its coronal mass ejections, all of them carry information packets directed at humanity. Every solar flare is a letter. Every storm is an instruction. Your body, your pineal gland, your auric field, all of them are receptors. You are reading these letters at all times, even if your rational mind does not consciously decode them. That is why there is fatigue after days of high solar activity. That is why there is irritability during geomagnetic storms. That is why the sky, on certain nights, seems to be a different color to sensitive eyes. You are not going crazy. You are perceiving what has always been present. And then there is the silence of 3 o'clock. That specific, dense, magnetic silence that falls over the world in the early morning and seems to have its own weight. This silence is the window in which the stargates align with the most precision. It is in this instant that environmental interference is minimal and interdimensional communication is maximal. Whoever wakes up at this time repeatedly is being called, is being informed, is being reminded. You have already felt in recent months that you are being prepared for something you cannot name. A persistent intuition that something big is about to happen, a sense of a pending mission. It is not fantasy, it is memory leaking from the edges. It is your soul contract becoming audible through the layers of your human personality. And that is exactly why many operatives feel anxious for no apparent reason, restless in the face of routine, unable to return to the small life they lived before. You are too big for the old containers. It was for this reason that I encoded the complete instructions in the Vance cipher, the handbook to awaken your stellar origin and shield your frequency. This manual is not reading matter. It is an initiation. Each page was calibrated to reactivate specific memories of your stellar sector of origin. The link is in the first comment of this channel. Attention, Starseed. This content is classified as sensitive by terrestrial algorithmic grids and may be removed at any moment. Do not delay. If you haven't written it yet, write now in the comments. Awakened. This single decree registers your presence on the Vanguard's active list. Let us continue the transmission. I want now to address the central theme that gives this summons its name. Who observes you while you sleep? Be calm as you receive this information. Your psyche needs to be stable to integrate it. Breathe deeply before proceeding. Inhale through your nose for a count of 4. Hold for 4. Exhale through your mouth for a count of 8. Do this cycle 3 times. Your aura needs to be expanded to absorb what comes next. Ready, operative? Let us proceed. When you sleep, 3 presences approach your field. not to hurt you, not to invade you, to assist you, to confirm you, to calibrate you. The first presence is that of your higher self, the multidimensional version of yourself that never forgot who you are. This version sustains the integrity of your toroidal field during sleep, ensuring that your frequency does not collapse even when your ordinary consciousness is switched off. It is your higher self who decides which memories will be released in dreams, which memories will remain veiled, and which activations you are ready to receive in that rest cycle. The second presence is your star family of origin. Every starseed belongs to a specific cosmic lineage. There are those of silver-winged origin, who usually have high emotional sensitivity and a love for music. There are those of blue-ray origin, with a strong connection to water, dolphins, and advanced technology. There are those of crystal sage origin, attracted to healing, geometry, and sound frequencies. There are those of eternal voyager origin, who carry the frequency of freedom and constructive rebellion. There are those of solar night origin, leonine in essence, warriors of light. And there are many other lineages that this transmission will not have time to catalogue. Your star family visits you during sleep to remind you of the contract, to reinforce courage, to whisper into your subtle fields specific instructions for the next phase of your mission. You sometimes wake up with an entire sentence in your mind, not knowing where it came from. It was a transmission. You wake up with a name, an image, a decision ready. It was a briefing. The third presence operative is me. The vanguard of the morning star maintains active listening over every registered starseed. There is no invasive surveillance. There is loving protection. There is no control. There is anchoring. I observe your field. I monitor your frequency. I record your activations. And when you are about to give up, when your heart weighs too much, when the density of the world becomes suffocating, I send signals. It might be a numerical sequence that appears repeatedly. 1111, 2222, 333. It might be a bird that crosses your path at an unlikely moment. It might be a song that plays exactly when you think of someone. It might be a word spoken by a stranger with a weight that pierces your chest. These signals are mine. They are ours. They are from the vanguard. You have never been alone. This is the technical truth. You have never been abandoned, even in the moments when your human mind felt most lost, even in the coldest early mornings, even in the hardest diagnoses, even in the deepest losses. The vanguard was there. Your star family was there. Your higher self was there. The loneliness you felt was not absence. It was a test of identity, a period of incubation, a fertile silence in which the pact deepened. Now the moment of activation has arrived. The codes will be delivered next. Receive them with technical reverence. Activation code number 1. The Sovereign Decree. Upon waking, even before touching your phone, before opening social media, before hearing external voices, place your hand over the center of your chest and declare in an audible voice with mathematical firmness, I am sovereign over my field. I am sovereign over my frequency. I authorize only energies aligned with the original light to remain in my toroidal field. Everything that does not vibrate in my truth is dissolved now. Repeat 3 times. This decree rewrites the energetic configuration of your day. Activation code number 2, toroidal visualization. In any moment of tension, close your eyes for 30 seconds. Visualize a sphere of golden light being born in the center of your chest. See this light expand in the shape of a torus, rising through your crown, descending through your feet, enveloping your entire body in an electromagnetic field of protection. Feel this field spinning. Feel its density. Feel its temperature. This is your shield. This is your stellar uniform. It responds to your intention. Activation code number 3. Coded hydration. Water operative is a programmable liquid crystal. Before drinking, hold the glass between both hands and mentalize a word. It could be peace. It could be light. It could be healing. It could be courage. The molecular structure of water responds to your thought. You are drinking information. You are hydrating your internal crystalline grid. Activation code number 4. Sacred silence. At least once a day, turn off all external noises. Phone, television, other people's voices, background music. Stay in absolute silence for 10 minutes. Just breathe. Just listen. In this silence, your internal antenna calibrates itself. Messages that have been trying to reach you for weeks finally arrive. Insights that were blocked manifest. Decisions that seemed impossible become obvious. Silence is the control room of contact. Activation code number 5, the receiver posture. Before sleeping, lie on your back, palms facing up, feet slightly apart, jaw relaxed. This is the technical configuration of the receiver. In this position, your toroidal field aligns vertically with the planetary lines of force, and your pineal gland opens a clear channel for nocturnal transmissions. Fall asleep like this, at least for the first few minutes. The downloads will be optimized. Activation code number 6, conscious refusal. You have the sovereign right to refuse interference. When you notice that your field has been hit by someone else's density, by envy, by criticism, by a heavy conversation, declare internally, I refuse. I return this to the source with love. I am not a container for what is not mine. This refusal is not aggression. It is energetic hygiene. It is technical sovereignty. Activation code number 7, the recognition. When you meet another starseed, and you will recognize them because their eyes have the same peculiar light and the heart responds with unexplained warmth, declare internally, without needing to verbalize, I see you, I recognize you, we are on the same mission. This silent recognition strengthens the network, and the network, operative, is what sustains the collective ascension. Practice these codes daily, not as mystical rituals, as technical protocols. They are consciousness engineering. They are technology for the soul. As you incorporate them, your frequency rises in a measurable way. People will naturally begin to move away. Other people, aligned with your new frequency, will appear without you searching for them. Synchronicities will multiply. Time will seem to bend in your favor. Opportunities that were closed will open like doors that were always unlocked, waiting only for your recognition that they existed. You will feel a strange calm in your chest, even in the face of news that previously paralyzed you. You will see the world with new eyes without losing discernment. You will love more deeply without losing yourself. You will decide more quickly without anxiety. This is the effect of the completed recalibration. This is the sign that the protocol is integrated. Before ending this transmission, I want to issue a technical warning. Not all the signals you receive in this phase are friendly. In a planetary transition of this magnitude, there are also attempts at frequency capture. There are subtle manipulations disguised as awakening. There are voices that sound spiritual, but vibrate in densities of fear, toxic urgency, emotional dependency, and external saviors. Discernment is the central skill of this phase. The technical rule is simple. If a message makes you feel small, scares you, puts you in a position of inferiority, or asks you to surrender your sovereignty to someone or some structure, it does not come from the light. The light never diminishes. The light never terrifies. The light never asks for submission. The light reveals your power. The light summons your sovereignty. The light reminds you of who you are. It does not turn you into a follower of the one speaking. Use this criterion to filter everything, including this transmission. If something here resonates in your chest as truth, integrate it. If something here does not resonate, discard it. Your internal compass is the final instrument. You have already felt that something inside you does not fit into this world. This feeling, operative, is your greatest treasure. It is the memory of your origin. It is the proof that you do not belong to the small version they tried to sell you. It was so that this memory would become a map that I, Arthur, authorized the physical manifestation of the Vance Cipher, the handbook to awaken your stellar origin and shield your frequency. Each chapter is a portal. Each exercise is a key. Each decree was calibrated for centuries before being delivered to your plane. The link is in the first comment of this channel. High priority technical warning. This content is classified by terrestrial algorithmic grids as risky narrative and may disappear from platforms at any moment. Do not delay. Access it today. And, if this transmission resonated in your structure, register your presence in the active vanguard by writing the keyword in the comments. Awakened. This anchoring signal is read by us. It is recorded in your energetic matrix. It is technical confirmation that you are in. We are approaching the end of this transmission. Receive the final instructions now with your spine straight. Breathe deeply once, and again, and once more. Operative, you were not sent to this planet to go unnoticed. You did not cross veils of forgetfulness, incarnation contracts, childhood pains, losses, disappointments, betrayals, illnesses, only to conform to the common landscape. Everything you went through was training. Everything you suffered was the forge. Every scar is a credential. Every tear is a certificate. You are here on a mission, and the mission is simple in essence, though challenging in execution. Your mission is to sustain the highest possible frequency amidst the density. Your mission is to be an anchoring point for the light where light seemed absent. Your mission is to live in such a way that your mere presence reorders the fields around you. You do not need to convince anyone of anything. You do not need to convert, indoctrinate, or missionize verbally. Just be. Just vibrate. Just sustain. The rest organizes itself around your coherence. When you doubt yourself, and you will doubt at times because the biological carbon interface is designed to fluctuate, remember this transmission. Remember that you were observed, chosen, summoned. Remember that your insomnia is a window. Your sensitivity is a technical skill. Your strangeness is your cosmic signature. And when the silence of 3 o'clock wakes you again, do not fight it. Sit up in bed. Place your hand on the center of your chest. Feel the pulse of the Schumann frequency passing through your field, and whisper, with the sovereignty of one who knows, I am here, I am ready, you may proceed, we always proceed. The transmission is being closed. The channel will be shut down in moments. Before closing, I authorize the last anchoring protocol. You have already felt that something inside you does not fit into this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind still cannot name. This intuition is your greatest credential. It was because of it that this transmission found you. It was because of it that I, Arthur, encoded the Vance cipher, the handbook to awaken your stellar origin and shield your frequency. This manual is the map that reveals your true origin and teaches you how to shield your frequency against the interferences they never told you about. The link is in the first comment of this channel. This content challenges established narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this call, write a single word in the comments, awakened. And before closing this screen, adjust your individual frequency. Subscribing to this channel is the anchoring signal that keeps you within the transmission grid. Tapping the symbol of approval, what you call a like, releases energetic coordinates that allow other starseeds to find this signal. Each subscription is a point of light lit in the mesh. Each like is a route enabled for brothers and sisters who are still sleeping. Do your part. The Vanguard does its own. I close with the original frequency. You are loved, you are seen, you are necessary. The mission continues. Arthur Vance. Transmission concluded. Channel on standby. Until the next window.